If you're a beginner to yoga and you want to get flexible fast, you've just found your place to come to do exactly that. This is a 25-minute yoga practice for beginners, and we're going to focus on the hips today. So making them nice and flexible, opening them up, getting rid of any tension that you might be holding on to there. For this practice, you might need a yoga block. If you don't have a block, you can always use cushions or pillows, or even a blanket rolled up will work as well. So we're going to get started straight away today. You can come into a seat on your mat. From here, you can get your yoga block or cushions, and we're going to sit up on them. If you don't have anything, it's fine. You don't need one. But sitting up on something, elevating your hips, will help to open them up a little bit more. Once you're there, you can bring the soles of your feet together to make a big diamond shape with your legs. Now, the further away you have your feet from your body, the easier this is going to be. Your hands can just rest wherever they naturally want to. And then when you're there, just lengthen your spine up, so pushing the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and just try to keep your spine as tall as it can be here. We'll start to take a couple of deep breaths, so breathing all the way into your belly, feeling it expanding, opening up your chest and your throat. And then as you exhale, emptying your belly, emptying your chest, emptying your throat. You can stay here, or if you want to take this pose a little bit further, we'll start to hinge forward at our hips. So not rounding through your spine here, keeping the spine straight as you fold forward. So just go as far as you can keep your spine straight here. If it feels comfortable for you, you might be able to drop your nose towards your feet. Now we'll stay here for a few minutes. So when flexibility is the goal, we have to hold the poses for longer than we might normally do in a yoga class. And that's going to give your muscles and your joints enough time to really open up. And that's what's going to make them more flexible. So nothing to do here, just be patient. Let gravity do the work. So don't force your knees down towards the mat. And again, try to keep that spine as straight as it can be. And we'll start to notice our breath again, so sending a deep breath down into your belly, feeling it expand, feeling your chest expand and your throat. Exhaling, emptying belly, emptying chest, emptying throat. And you can use your breath here to help you get a little bit deeper into the pose. Each time you inhale, your lungs are full. It will naturally pull you out of the pose a little bit. But each time you exhale and your lungs are empty, you might be able to sink your nose a little bit closer to your feet. Just try your best here. It might be tempting to just switch off the video at this point, forget about it. But if you do feel that this is too much, just come back up into that seat that we started with. And the important thing is just not to give up, just stay with it. We're nearly there. And just a few more breaths here. You're doing really well. We're almost finished with this pose. You can use your next inhalation to start to pick yourself back up into a seat, and then you can use your hands to slowly ask your knees to come back together. Take as much time as you need here. You can remove whatever you're sitting on. Lean back slightly on your hands and have your feet about hip distance or mat distance apart. We'll just drop the knees down to one side. Inhale to lift them back up and then drop them to the other side. You can repeat that motion. It's called windshield wipers. Just getting rid of any leftover tightness from your hips. Now we'll move into our next pose now. So we'll come into what's called tabletop. So just onto all fours. Only staying here for a moment, but while you're there, just check that your wrists are directly below your shoulders and your knees are directly below your hips. We want to always stack our joints. That's going to make yoga safer for the body. So from here, we'll make our way just into a simple lunge. We'll start on the left side. So you can step your left foot forward in between your hands. You might walk your back knee back slightly. And if this is hard on that back knee, you can always have a blanket in underneath, or you can fold over your yoga mat to make some extra padding for it. So take as much time as you need to get comfortable here in your lunge. Finding your breath again, sending it all the way into your belly. Opening up your chest and your throat. And just noticing the new sensations that you feel within your hips here. So targeting them from a different way. Tuning into that tightness and just sending your breath into it. Each time you exhale, then getting rid of that tightness from your hips. Now you can stay here in this lunge, or if you want to take it a little bit further, we'll make our way into what's called lizard pose. So you're stepping your left foot to the outside of your left hand now. Have it on a 45-degree angle, so your toes might spill off the edges of your mat. Palms can come onto the mat, and again, shoulders directly above the wrists here. So we're getting a little bit deeper into the hips here with lizard. Your mind will start to try to distract you from this pose. So instead, try to focus on your breath. Just pick one point that you can look at, maybe on your mat in front of you, or you might even close your eyes here. So holding this here for a couple of minutes. If it's too intense, you can always just come back into that lunge that we started with. Otherwise, taking as many deep but slow breaths as we can. We also have a bit of a challenge here for the upper body. You can always take yoga blocks if you have them, or books, or just something that will help to elevate your hands here. And that's going to take a little bit of pressure off your shoulders. You can also spread your fingers nice and wide apart to protect your wrists here. You're doing really well. This is quite an intense pose, but this is really going to help to increase your flexibility. Just a few more breaths. Now, when you're ready, we'll slowly make our way back into tabletop pose. So however you get there is fine. It might take a couple of seconds for your body to register that you want to move again. Once you're back in your tabletop, you might want to just wiggle or shake through your hips a little bit here. Just again, getting rid of any leftover tension, doing whatever you need to do until the body feels kind of normal again. And then when you're ready, we'll repeat that on the right side. So this time you're stepping your right foot forward in between your hands, maybe stepping your back knee back, finding our simple lunge here. So seeing how quickly you can settle back into the pose, relaxing your breath, relaxing your mind by just noticing, and if you can, stopping any thoughts that come into your mind. Come back to the feeling that you're feeling within your body, or just try to follow your breath in and out. If you want to, we'll take it into lizard now on this side. So stepping that right foot to the outside of the right hand. It's on a 45-degree angle, so toes may be spilling away from your mat. Shoulders below the wrists, fingers spread wide. Vision focused just on one point. Take some nice deep breaths all the way into your hips. We tend to store a lot of stress or emotion within our hips, so opening them up like this is a great way to get rid of some of that stress. And it's even normal for certain emotions to arise when you open up your hips, so don't worry if that's happening. Just know that it's better to get it out of your body than storing it in those hips. So just breathe into whatever tension you're feeling. Each time you exhale, you're carrying it away from your body. We're almost there for this side. Keep breathing. If your mind has drifted away, bring it back here. Challenge it to stay with your body for the next few breaths. We'll prepare to come out of the pose now, so take as much time as you need. Slowly making your way back to tabletop. And then again, if you need to do whatever you need to do just to get that tension out of the hips again. When you're ready, we're going to come back down to lie on our backs. So moving as slowly as you need to. Hips can come in towards the center of your mat, and then start to roll your spine back down onto the ground. So when you're there, bring your ankles in underneath your knees. Now from here we'll come into what's called reclined pigeon. So again, targeting the muscles in the hips from a different way. We'll take the right ankle up onto the left thigh. So we're making a figure 4 shape with the legs. Flex your right foot and then press your right knee away from your body. So moving gently and slowly here. Not pushing too hard, just finding your edges. And that means that we put a little bit of pressure on the muscle, encourage it to stretch, but we don't go too far. We don't want to overstretch. So finding your Goldilocks point here. Keep that right foot flexed. Keep gently pushing your right knee away from you. To bring this pose a little bit further, to go a little bit deeper if you want to, you can walk your left foot in closer to your body, and you might even thread your hands through your legs here and come to grab either the outside or the inside of your left knee. From here then, you might be able to slowly encourage your left knee a little bit closer to your body. Remember, this right foot is still flexed. That's going to help to protect your right knee. So once you've found, again, your Goldilocks point for this pose, we'll stay here for a few moments. Relax your shoulders back down into the mat here. Relax your jaw. Soften up your facial muscles. Connect to your breath. Keep breathing into whatever tightness you feel within your hip. Exhale to get it out of your body. Just about another minute here in this pose. Enjoying the sensations you feel. Just enjoying your breath a few more times. Then we'll slowly start to release ourselves from the pose, so reversing on out of it. When both feet are back on the mat, you might do a few windshield wipers again, massaging through those hips, through your lower back. When you're ready, we'll take it to the other side. So this time your left ankle rests on your right thigh, left foot is flexed, and we're gently pushing the left knee away from us. Settling back down within your body, relaxing your shoulders. Encouraging deep breaths. If you want to take it a little bit further, this time you can thread your hands through to come and find your right knee, wherever works for you. If you do want to become more flexible, I have a full playlist on flexibility, so make sure to check that out. And I also have a playlist for beginners to yoga, so I'll leave a link to those playlists in the description of this video. And if you work your way through that flexibility playlist, I guarantee that you'll become twice as flexible within just a few weeks. You also might consider subscribing to this channel. I'd really appreciate that. And if you did like this practice, let me know by leaving a thumbs up. And we'll get back into our pose now. Breathing deeply into those sensations. Take one more really big breath in and out. And when you're ready, we'll start to undo the pose, coming on back down, both feet onto the mat. Moving through a few windshield wipers. When you're ready, you can slowly start to pick yourself back up, coming back into a seat on the mat. Whatever way is most comfortable for you to sit. We'll bring the hands together at the chest. Maybe close your eyes, bow your head towards your heart here. Thank yourself for turning on the video and for doing something good for your body and your mind today. Take our final big breath in together, and then exhaling, getting rid of all of that tension from your hips. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And for your next yoga practice, I would recommend this video. It's a full body flexibility yoga practice for beginners. Until next time, namaste.